This is a capstone project by Courtney Belcik for the fall semester of 2019. The capstone focuses on the student perceived value of flipped lessons. As a teacher dealing with an already weighed down pre-advanced placement geometry curriculum, I know that very little time exists for student mathematical discourse with each new topic. Even less time can be dedicated to developing additional skills outside of the reach of the TEKS, which is an issue because my students are part of the early college high school program and will complete the remainder of their coursework during their junior and senior year of high school, taking dual credit classes at the local junior college. With so little time available, the best solution would be something that adds time to the school day, like a flipped classroom. But in order for this change in classroom inertia to be worthwhile, my students need to see its value. The purpose of this project is to design, implement, and evaluate the effectiveness of a modified version of a flipped classroom. The question steering this project is, to what extent do students' judgments about flipped classrooms change after 3 flipped lessons in a 2-week geometry unit? I provide multiple opportunities to experience the flipped classroom format. However, not all lessons in the unit will be flipped. This gave students enough familiarity with the flipped format to see its true effects and make a decision about its value. In the literature review, I will discuss connections to advanced coursework, 21st century skills, flipped classrooms, suggestions from previous research, and the need for more research. The first topic I address in the literature review is advanced coursework. Honors, AP, and pre-AP are all considered within the research, and while they lack universal guidelines, they all share some common characteristics. Judson's 2017 study reports that most teachers in his study agreed that students in advanced courses should receive daily homework. The courses must also demand and support the growth of a higher level of critical thinking, while Lowe and Hughes' study emphasized the real-world oriented facet of advanced coursework. All in all, advanced courses require time to plan, time for student collaboration, and time for written student justification. These all lend themselves to our next topic, 21st century skills. 21st century skills are described as critical thinking and problem solving, collaboration and leadership, agility and adaptability, initiative and entrepreneurialism, effective oral and written communication, accessing and analyzing information, and curiosity and imagination. Wachira, Portevoud, and Skitzy claim combining these skills produces a more well-rounded academic experience for everyone. The inverted classroom or flipped classroom can provide a process of discovery and consolidation of knowledge. Many students in previous studies enjoyed the flipped lesson format. In fact, 68% of students in Macaram's 2015 study agree that flipped lessons are beneficial. His students liked the change of pace provided by flipping the lessons. The students in Lowe and Hughes' study reported more self-motivation, and Macaram students also recognized the benefit of videos while preparing for exams. To make the flipped lessons as helpful as possible, previous authors had made suggestions, such as providing pre-lesson worksheets or pre-printed notes to fill in. Tabak and Schwartz warned teachers to consider the social aspects of teaching and learning and keep them embedded in the flipped lesson. The intention is to allow peer-to-peer teaching and tutoring through some sort of chat platform. Lowe and Hugh also suggest utilizing an online assessment tool to motivate more students to watch the videos outside of class. So for the methods section, my students reside in a suburban district. It's a secondary school outside of a large metropolitan area. They're 10th grade students who have taken Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 and have been on the advanced math class track since 8th grade. We did 3 lessons together that were flipped, and they consisted of 6 to 10-minute videos that were posted in Schoology. Schoology is an online learning management system that our students have been familiar with for at least 2 years. Students completed pre-printed notes in 2 of the 3 lessons, In the third lesson, students were given the outline of the notes, but they had to create the outline on their own paper, and then they had to fill in their outline based on the video that was provided for them. And students were encouraged to ask for clarification outside of class and inside of class on the following day, and the students did take advantage. Students were also asked to complete surveys throughout the process. Students completed surveys before and after each of the lessons so that I could document how their opinions changed throughout the duration of the unit. A basic yes or no were supplied as choices to gather most of my data, but more qualitative data was gathered from open-ended responses to prompts such as these. How do you feel about doing the lessons via video at home and working and collaborating together in class tomorrow? Or what did you think about watching a short video to prepare for the next day's lesson? Or list at least one idea you have that could make the process better. And would you like to do this again in the future? Why or why not? Now, the study did consist of 30 students in the pre-AP geometry classroom, but most of the surveys did not have 30 entries for various reasons. In the beginning, I tried to assess the students' degree of familiarity with flipped lessons. 15 students reported that originally they had never heard of a flipped lesson. Of the students that had heard of a flipped lesson, 2 of them had never done it before. 2 of them claimed to have done 1 or 2 videos. 1 of them had claimed to watch 3 to 5 flipped lesson videos, and 2 students claimed that they had done more than 5 flipped lessons. This table represents the first change of opinions that I was able to record from my students. Of the students who originally did not like the idea of a flipped lesson, 4 students changed their minds and 2 students remained steadfast that they did not like flipped lessons. Of the students who originally liked the idea of flipped lessons, 2 students changed their mind and decided they didn't, and 9 held fast to their original positive opinion. Originally, 72.7% of students had a positive outlook on flipped lessons. This chart shows 76.4% of students with a positive opinion about flipped lessons, and to conclude the study, 81.3% of students stated that they had a positive opinion of flipped lessons after our 3-lesson unit was over. This allowed me to answer my research question, to what extent do students' judgments about flipped lessons change after 3 flipped lessons in a 2-week geometry unit? The answer is that the positive opinions of students about flipped lessons increased between 8 and 9% in the duration of the unit. That tells me that this is a worthwhile lesson format to incorporate in my classroom throughout the school year. My study can easily reflect the importance of 3 themes from the Capstone seminars: 21st century skills, technology to support learning, and best practices. Through this study, I had a checklist of 21st century skills I was looking for. I hoped to observe collaboration, leadership, oral communication, written communication, curiosity, and technology usage. I was able to witness 4 of the 6 skills: collaboration, leadership, oral communication, and curiosity. Using technology in an educational way is a recommendation frequently visited in the curriculum and instruction courses. Flipping a classroom, or even just a few lessons, gives students academic uses for frequently visited video sharing sites like YouTube. The comment section can also be especially useful to practice professional tones and communicating effectively in writing. Teachers must have strong classroom management skills to support student success when the typical routine is disrupted, like in a flipped lesson. Teachers need to convey clear expectations of their students, since much of the responsibility falls on the students outside of the classroom. If clear expectations are established, flipped lessons can provide built-in scaffolding for special populations that includes unlimited viewing, pausing and rewinding, and captions can be turned on to assist with language and content comprehension. All in all, flipped classrooms provide a wonderful break from the typical lesson. Both students and teachers agree that benefits of flipping lessons vary widely. I would suggest that teachers who have never tried it before should test it out with their students and listen to their students' feedback. I will be frequently flipping lessons throughout the year for my students from now on. Especially for my students in the early college program, the format serves multiple purposes. I would like to thank the University of Houston and the College of Education for this experience. I have enjoyed the expansion of my knowledge, and I am enthusiastic to continue sharing that knowledge with my peers in education.